Hi, everyone. You're on the nail art channel. My client wore this manicure for a month and came back with 2 nails missing. But that's not the only issue. I encountered a few more problems during removal. There were some liftings, and I'll talk about that a bit later. I'm starting the manicure by removing the old product, beginning from the center of the nail. The product comes off easily. On the free edge, I try to leave a bit of material so I can lift it up later. This time, my client wants a French manicure but hasn't chosen a base yet. I'm using a camouflaging product here, so I'm trying to remove it from the center of the nail. That way, if we end up using a lighter shade, it won't show through. After removal, I go over the nails with a file to lift the scales and smooth out irregularities. I do the same even on the nails that had no coating left. Then, I begin the manicure process. Using an orange stick, I open the cuticle pocket and start cleaning the eponychium. I'm using a red flame bit with a 23mm diameter from HD Bits. First, I clean the left sides on forward, then switch to reverse and clean the right sides. After that, I trim the cuticle with scissors. As you can see, the cuticle flap is quite large, so I stretch the client's skin folds to clearly see the cutting line. Next, I use a silicone carbide buffer to polish the cuticle area and the skin around the nails. Then I prepare the nail plate, degrease, remove dust, and apply pH bond for Mystique. As a base layer, I'll use a rubber base, also from Mystique. I apply the required amount to each nail, and then spread it out with a gel brush. I apply a thin, even layer first, making sure the material covers all parts of the nail. For rebuilding the broken nails and reinforcing the others, I'll use a cream gel from Mystique in the shade Soft. It's a delicate milky pink shade, but after curing, the pink becomes barely visible. It looks more like a milky tone. Some of the client's nails were missing sidewalls. I don't know if she filed them herself, but there were literal gaps. Nails like that won't last, so I had to rebuild the sidewalls. I apply the product to one nail, cure it, and while that cures, I work on the other hand. This way, the product doesn't run or leak and cures properly. Last time, this client came to me with no nails at all, and I did a complex extension. If you haven't seen that video, check it out to see what her nails looked like back then. Ideally, she should have come in sooner after that kind of extension. If she had, maybe all her nails would still be intact. She scheduled this appointment at the 3-week mark, and when I asked if all her nails were intact, she said yes. So at 3 weeks, the nails still looked perfect, but by week 4, problems had started. For the nails that had no material left, I applied nail forms and used the same Mystique cream gel to rebuild them. I apply it in a thin layer. The camouflage shade she picked for leveling is similar to the base, but slightly lighter. Since we're doing a French tip, this won't be visible. Still, I apply the product thinly, just enough to form the base for the free edge. For leveling, she chose the Milk Light Pink shade from Kontekst, a soft milky pink that's very popular with clients who like classic white French tips. After rebuilding the sidewalls and free edge, I don't file, I apply the gel directly on top. Why do I do this? Because the gels are similar in color. Even if I file off the top layer, the Mystique gel blends in, so there's no visible difference. If I were using a different material, like a clear gel, I would first level everything, and then apply the gel for strength. Also, if the gels are different shades, it's better to file, and then apply the final gel. But ideally, for a full restoration, it's best to use the same gel throughout, for rebuilding, sidewalls, free edge, and leveling. Now, let's talk about leveling. My client has hook-shaped nails with a pronounced apex, so they don't tolerate much product. In the cuticle and sidewall areas, I apply the bare minimum. Most of the product goes on the free edge. This makes the nail look neat and helps lift the downward curving tip. Now about the issues I encountered during removal. I also had to rebuild her pinky nail, even though it seemed intact, because during removal, I found lifting at the free edge. Why does lifting happen at the free edge? Because the natural nail is soft, and the gel I use for strengthening is hard. As the nail grows out, it becomes more flexible and separates from the hard product. That's why it's so important for clients with problematic nails to come in for timely fills, to prevent this from happening. That's also why we always need to file off the natural nail underneath when working with hard gel. Last time there was no natural nail left, so I didn't even need to do this. just file the underside of the gel extension. But over 4 weeks, the natural nail grows out significantly. My client's nails also curve downward, which makes things worse. The nail starts detaching from the gel. And if there's even a small lift, the longer they wear it, the worse it gets. It can lead to the whole free edge lifting off. Clients often ask how long they can wear the coating, but everyone's nails are different and product longevity varies. As professionals, we must understand this and explain it to our clients. So I finished leveling all the nails and now I'm moving on to filing. My client wants them a bit shorter, so I use a removal bit to take down the length. If I see excess bulk on the sidewalls, I file it down a bit with the same bit. Then I turn the client's hand over and file the underside of the free edge. After that, I file the shape with a hand file, first shaping the tip, then thinning the sidewalls and evening out the surface. I also lift the lower sidewalls. At this point, I flip the nail toward myself to clearly see the growth point and avoid overfiling it. After filing, I apply a thin layer of base to the nails to prepare for drawing the French tips. Since I did surface filing, the surface is uneven, and drawing a smile line directly would cause it to bleed. I tried the Ultra Bond life hack once, but honestly, it didn't work for me. My French lines still weren't crisp. So for me, it's easier to apply a thin base layer, flash cure it quickly, and then start drawing. That's it. If you like, please subscribe and comments below.